Okay, welcome along to the latest edition of the David Power Jockey Cup. Right, we needed an informed jockey. A jockey who's had a fantastic season. Step forward, Charlie Deutsch. How are you doing, Charlie?
Yeah, good, thanks, Niall. Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not as good as you. Never was, never will be. But you, what a season you're having, aren't you?
Yeah, they've been running well, and yeah, I've had some good rides on Saturdays, and
Yeah.
a lot of them have delivered, so which is quite rare, really.
Royale, Pagaille, Betfair, Victorino, Ascot, the Jello won the Peterborough, Long Presse won the Cotswold Chase before that. General won the December Gold Cup. He won the Ladbrokes Trophy last week at Kempton for Sam Thomas. Marchador. You know, you said like it's unreal, isn't it? It's nearly every
Yeah,
Saturday feature race.
yeah.
All I keep thinking about is your bank balance.
Don't worry about that. No, yeah, it's brilliant. I suppose when you put it like that, and you think back to the Betfair Chase, God, that was magic. But it feels like ages ago now. But God, that was a brilliant day, and then obviously lots more as well. But no, it started off well and it's kept going, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you're getting. I think if you think about it, like Ben Jones has come through. He's had a really good season, and yourself. I think you're the two jockeys that sort of. Obviously Harry Skelton, Nico de Boinville. You expect of good yards, and they're doing brilliant. But these two this year have really been in the headlines really most Saturdays.
Yeah, I suppose we're both trying to prove ourselves, and the horses are in form. So yeah, we're joking a bit with each other in the weighing room about the David Power Cup. It's been nice and friendly chat so far, but it might get nasty towards the end.
You're in seventh position, which looking at it, it's 144 points I think you've got. So you're not going to win it, but touch wood, stay safe. So most importantly, we know that. But it looks like you're going to get a slice of money out of it, which is great.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully, I don't get knocked out. I've got yeah, Ben's every time I get points, he gets points. So
He's in
yeah,
eighth, Brendan Powell ninth, John Joe
yeah,
Neal 10th, Tom
yeah.
Cannon 11th. You'd be gutted forever finish 11th, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would like to get just inside.
Yeah,
I suppose the only thing I've noticed is it can change very quickly. Like if one
yeah.
person doesn't get any points one weekend, someone can accumulate a lot with the placings and everything and winners. And so, yeah, if one person has a good day, it can change very quickly. So there's not much in it at all, really.
I always think of you. We don't know each other that well, but we've spoke, obviously, interviewed. I think I interviewed after Long Presse, your first Grade 1 winner. It seems to me that you're a really polite lad, really excellent jockey. And if I said to you for the rest of your career, you never had to do another interview with anyone, you'd be happy enough. Is that fair?
Yeah, I suppose so.
You're obliging,
Yeah.
but it's not something that you crave.
No, I'm not. No, I don't crave the media. No, I suppose I don't like watching myself back too much on
That's
interviews.
natural. That's
Yeah,
natural.
yeah, I suppose that's lots of people. No, I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing, and yeah, but no, it's nice that people notice what you do for a living, and yeah, I suppose so. Then in that case, I don't mind talking about it too much.
I suppose when the media, when they want to talk to you, it's normally good stuff, and it's because you're riding winners.
Yeah, exactly. You're always in good form normally when the media speak to you.
Yeah,
Hopefully, anyway.
yeah.
But
Let's go right back to the start because obviously you haven't gone far, have you? You're a local lad to Venetia, really, aren't you?
well, I grew up in the Cotswolds. Chipping Camden would be my local town, a village called Ebrington. We lived outside of, and it wouldn't be miles away from Stratford Racecourse, so it's not far from Venetia's. And then I moved to Venetia's when I was about 18, 19, and then have lived over this way ever since, really. Yeah, so I live not far from Ledbury now.
Yeah.
My
But
local.
when you were like 10, 11, 12, sort of them years, when your family point to point and more hunting, well, what was Charlie Deutsch wanting to do when he was that age?
Yeah, I had jockey. Yeah, definitely loved. I watched the racing. I used to record it. We'd go hunting on a Saturday, and I'd record it and watch it all back on in the evening. And yeah, I definitely had it in my mind. I was interested in being a jockey. I had done a few pony races, but yeah, no, it was all. I think jockey was at the forefront, and then I was interested in other stuff like event and show jumping as well. So yeah, just very interested in horses, and did as much riding as I could. Just loved it.
You mentioned there eventing, show jumping, point to point in hunting. Like, I think if you asked anybody, Charlie Deutsch, first thing that comes to mind is 3 mile chases, very good over knobs to go. Think that's right?
Oh, I hope so.
Well, you don't really think of you riding big bumper winners or 2 mile hurdle winners. I know Venetia largely, she'd Lily Rebecca back in the day when you were even born. But
Yeah.
but that's the nature of the beast who you ride for. But like, if we were going to be complimentary about you, I think you're fantastic over a fence. And watching you over a fence, the best thing that you do over a fence is nothing. You don't really interfere, do you?
Try not to, I suppose. And I was always fascinated by, that was my main interest, riding ponies and things like growing up was jumping. And it wasn't so much, yeah, I was really interested in trying to get a horse to jump as well as it can without not really that focused on, like I'd tack up the pony after school and then go off and find stuff to jump around the countryside, basically,
Yeah,
near
it was.
us. So and just I loved the idea of just having a go and seeing. I wonder if it would jump that or not.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you'd find out the hard way. But I just found it interesting. And trying to work out, if you did stop or fall off, why it happened, and wonder if you could, find some sort of answer to make it better.
So
Yeah.
you're in the modern world, and obviously I'm older than you, but you strike me as a horseman, and then a jockey. Do you understand? Like, even like,
Yeah.
for example, we listed all them winners, but I think of you, Cloudy Glen's a good example, and Venetia Williams a good example. Like, I remember Cloudy Glen, were you probably on him at Haydock over hurdles? Didn't want to go forward, didn't want to go backwards. I'm like, what an absolute yak this is. And like, for Venetia to keep him on the straight and narrow, to go on to win the Ladbrokes Trophy as it was back in 2021, I think it was great skills as horsemanship, and Venetia to keep his head sort of level. He runs at Newbury at the weekend. He's still going, but do you understand?
Yeah.
Horsemanship. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I suppose he was a great example. From a young horse, he was wild,
Yeah,
absolutely wild, and just he had the ability, but it's just trying to channel it, I suppose.
yeah,
And I suppose Venetia did a great job with him and gave him time and just took her time with him and didn't ask too much of him. And and then with horses like that, I suppose you definitely have to work with them. You can't,
yeah.
from a rider's point of view, do things on their terms. And I suppose that's what happened in the Hennessy when he won it. He did things. I just let him do what he wanted to do, really, and just let him do things in his comfort zone and on his terms, and it worked out, thankfully.
But if Cloudy Glen was with some other yard, whoever, he mightn't have fulfilled his potential. He mightn't have made it the track at all.
Yeah, no, that's very true, actually, and I think in his early days it would be easy. I think I wouldn't blame anyone for saying, "Oh, he's not a racehorse" or whatever,
Yeah,
or he's unrideable, or it would have been very easy to write him off early. And that's I think it's riding for Venetia over the years has made me realise things like that is just give them time and work them out instead of
yeah.
you just don't know what you've got with horses, and it's worth just waiting sometimes.
Because like the late Trevor Hemmings obviously owned him. Mick Meager is a good stockman, a good horseman. Venetia and yourself have come together, and we're talking now. We're 10 minutes into this interview. We're talking about Cloudy Glen. We're not Royal Pagaille, not Long Presse, but I just think that it advertised all of your skills. I remember, as I say, hey doc, I was petrified to be in the parade ring with him. I'm like, what is this yak doing? Mr. Hemmings doesn't need to own sheep like this. What are they doing? Get rid of that thing. And there you go. A couple of years later, you're galloping up in the Ladbrokes Trophy at Newbury.
Yeah, exactly. That is a definition of he's a funny old horse, and he just he didn't look much, and he had a funny way of moving as well. So no, it's a definition of don't judge a book by its cover. That's for sure.
Yeah. Where did you go before Venetia's? Was it nearly not going to be a jockey, not quite good enough, things aren't happening?
Yeah, so I used to ride out at Charlie Longston's in my weekends and stuff sometimes when before I left school, and then I left school just about 15, just about to turn 16, and that was the plan, go straight there really. And I did a year point to pointing. I did a year point to pointing, and I had I managed to get 2 point to pointers of my own, and I used to ride them at my lunch break, and they both won races for me, and that was really satisfying because I could kind of see a different side of it, as in just riding them and galloping them every day and working them out and working out how to ride them in their races and making mistakes, obviously. And it's satisfying when you could come up with a plan for one of them and of how he needs to be ridden, and the other thing was just seeing if he's short of a canter or needs another canter, just working stuff like that out. I found fascinating. So I did that at my lunch break, and then obviously I got going a bit point to pointing, and I had 2 winners on the track in one. My first ride on the track was at Folkestone. It was the last meeting before it got closed down.
Yeah.
And I used to ride out for Milton Harris in the summer, and he said he'd give me a winner, and he stuck by his word, and he gave me my first ever winner. It was, I think I rode in a point to point on the Sunday at Black Forest Lodge, came third, and then on the Tuesday he gave me a winner on Fit and Proper Job, it was a brilliant day for me.
And then where did Venetia? How did that link come up?
That took a bit of time. I won a hunter chase at the evening meeting at Cheltenham that spring, and then went conditional the following year for Charlie Longston, and then I did 2.5, 3 years conditional for him, and I lost a bit of confidence. I felt I was obviously young, and I got a good bit of criticism being that age, and I just I suppose everyone has their ways of some people you want to be hard on them, some people you want to criticize, and some people probably need a bit of confidence. So I think that was me at the time. I probably needed just a bit of direction, and I just thought, oh, maybe I'm not good enough because it's not happening. I've been doing it 3 years, so I went back amateur again, and I actually started riding out for Tom Lacey. I think Sam Drinkwater was struggling with a leg injury, and I got on a few of his pointers, his maiden pointers, and they were just lovely horses, which were off to the sales. And I think something ridiculous. I had 9 out of 10 wins for him.
Wow.
Point to point, and a bumper as well as an amateur. And I thought, oh, this is brilliant. I'll do this for the rest of my life. This is much better. And then a job came up at Venetia's, and Dad said to me, I'll just apply, just to see if you give her a ring and ask her. And I was in 2 minds because I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to go down that road again, because it didn't work out. And gave her a ring and went there in that summer. She said, come along, and gave her a ring and went there that summer, end of July. And and then I remember after a week I bumped into Meg, my girlfriend now, and it just worked out, and it took a few months of work, and then I got a ride in a boys' race on a horse first time over fences at Chepstow, and it came up about 10 I felt like 10 strides away from the fence, and I actually kind of sat back, and then I thought I was coming down the fence, and I jumped off the back actually, because I thought this isn't going to end well, and it survived. And I thought, oh, that's game over. That was my one chance. And anyway, it actually unseated a few jockeys afterwards, so it wasn't too bad. And then my next ride was a horse called Arkan. I remember Venetia said, she called me in the office, can you do 9.9? And I thought, oh God. But I just said yes straight away. And so I said yes. And I was thinking, I got a lot of weight to lose. And yeah, so I lost the weight. I sat in the bath all night and all morning, and then went to Cheltenham and popped out, made all, and it won. He won well actually, but so that was my first winner and my second ride for her, and then we got a few more after that.
So what? How many seasons ago is this now? 8, 9?
I think it's 9 or 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam Treadwell. I think Aidan was riding a good few of them, and I think he just lost the James Ferguson job and the John Ferguson job, and Liam Treadwell was riding a lot of them, and he was great. He always he was the best for giving me advice and things. So yeah, no, it was an interesting time. I was just desperate to try and make it.
Yeah, we miss Liam. Obviously, I spent a lot of time with him when he was up here, apprentice on the flat many years ago. Yeah, but not far from me. But you think of relationships and jump racing. You know, you obviously Dan and Harry Skelton brothers, and they get on great. But you and Venetia, like it's such a old fashioned setup, isn't it? You know, nowadays with agents and a bit like football, the loyalty's not. You know, it's not as strong maybe as it could be in places where Venetia's entered. Charlie Deutsch rides and by and large, you know, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is great. Yeah, exactly. It's just quite cutthroat if you don't have a bit of loyalty. And I think every jockey would ride better if they just had a consistency to their career. And
then you look after horses. No, we mentioned Cloudy Glen, but you'll be thinking, right, I'll ride this next time. This isn't happening. Let alone Presse at the weekend. That might be a good example.
yeah, exactly. You're not gonna, you know, you're gonna ride them next time. So yeah, it's not your one chance, and you're not gonna flog a horse. Despite it's not, you know quite
it's in your
early on.
interest. It's in your interest as much as anyone.
Exactly, and yeah, exactly. There's always another race and another day, and yeah, you want to, you know, if it's not happening, there's no point ruining it for next time. But at the same time, you've got to be positive. But yeah, there's always another day with horses. They got to run 5, 6, 7 times a year, so you've got to make sure you do best by them, really, I suppose.
Now, this David Power Jockey Cup podcast, this goes out worldwide. There's absolutely millions listening and watching this, but Venetia doesn't. I don't believe she'll be watching, so we can elaborate. She won't find out. Do you clash ever? Do you get many bulletins?
Sometimes I've come back in and I have a good idea that she's not going to be happy, and
Did she tell you?
yes, yeah, she'll always be honest and tell me, and
I quite like that rather than bottling up and jockeying you off, and
yeah, exactly.
And then if she gives her piece, you can give yours bit back. Why you done what you done, or
yeah,
why it didn't go right.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's the nature of the sport, and I just try and explain what I was thinking and why I did what I did at the time, and yeah, it's her. You know, she can make her own mind up, but yeah, just try and eliminate those moments and try and hope I can never let them happen again. But yeah, no, it does happen.
If you say you rode a couple of winners at Carlisle, for example, this year that Venetia wouldn't be there, do you speak to her before and after the race in depth?
Yeah, not so much in depth, but I'd speak to her before the race, and she's brilliant. She always just says, "Oh, you know the horse," a lot of the time, and then if she has an opinion, but I always ring her just to make sure, just in case she has a view on what I'll say, I'll line up or whatever, and sit where I travel, and she'll give. If she has an opinion, it's always worth ringing her just to say, "Oh, I think you should do this" or whatever. But rarely does that happen, and it's very much yeah, she understands races and pace and things like that. Things change, so she's good to ride for in that sense. And afterwards, then sometimes we'll have a good chat about it, and sometimes there's not much to say. yeah, we always try and make a plan for next time if there's an obvious case, and if not, there's we'll see what comes out in the washing and give it a bit of time and think about it. Really. Yeah, there's no point saying something if you don't believe it. Just kidding yourselves, aren't you? But
yeah. What do we got to look forward to? Lon Presse, obviously at the weekend. I read somewhere that he's schooled since and seems fine.
He's schooled. Sorry, my dog's just jumped in.
I want to see your dog. What is it? What, a lurcher?
It's a Bedlington. Yeah.
I've got a Bedlington lurcher.
Oh, have you got Bedlington Whippet? Yeah, we've got.
He's massive, right? We'll try. I'll get right. Let me see yours. Right.
There she is.
1 second, Charlie. Stay there.
She's much more interesting than me, that's for sure.
Snoopy, here. Yeah, come on. Right, Charlie. You're about to see Snoopy.
Snoopy, this is Binky.
Yeah. this Snoopy is about the size of Lon Presse.
Oh
Look at him.
God.
He's massive, isn't he? Can you see how big he is?
Yeah. Because he doesn't fit in the screen.
But he's Bedlington. Say hello to... What's your dog called?
This is a Bedlington Whippet. Yours is a lurcher, is it?
Yeah, lurcher. But he's got Bedlington in him, as you can tell. He's very like your one.
Yeah. I'd say yours is fast, is it?
He's very fast. He's very fast, and he wants to go now. Say bye-bye to Charlie and wish him good luck at Cheltenham.
See you, Snoopy.
See you, Snoops. He is very fast and he's very lazy. He sleeps for like 23 hours a day. He's like his owner.
That's ideal.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, what were we talking about? Lon Presse or dogs?
You said Lon Presse at the weekend, but I don't think he's in at the weekend.
No, I'm talking about last time at Ascot.
Yeah.
No, but obviously he was very good in the Cotswold. Didn't happen from at Ascot.
Yeah.
But he's got Cheltenham form. We know that.
Yes, exactly.
Several bits of Cheltenham form, and going to the Gold Cup, galloping the Champs is a proper aeroplane. But you on your A game, there's no reason why you can't run into a place.
Definitely. I suppose looking at it realistically, we need to try and have him in the form. He needs to be in the form that he was for the Cotswold Chase, and galloping the Champs, he looks like he's the one, the one to beat, and you could easily run into second, I think, which you'd be delighted with. But to win it, you just have a go, wouldn't you? And
absolutely,
if everything went right and didn't go perfectly for galloping, then it's worth having a go. That's for sure.
What else? Martador was good at Ascot. He's in the Johnny Henderson.
Yes, yeah.
Has he shown us? Obviously, the Johnny Henderson, you might have like 20 Irish horses that maybe have hidden their light under a bushel, where we know more about your lad.
Yeah, our lad's very. I suppose from that sense, our lad's very exposed. He runs over 2.5 or 2, so. But he's a great little horse. He's won 5 in a row, which is quite rare, and then he's just I suppose just run below top form lately, but I can see him rocking back up again especially in this spring.
Venetia's got several in the Ultima. Cartadori, Sam Thomas was good at Kent. Would Dylan Johnson automatically ride him? Do you think?
I guess so. I don't know.
He'd be a great rider, wouldn't he?
He would be a good ride, yeah, definitely.
Unexposed.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose the progressing horses are always the ones that are exciting. Yeah. You never know, do you? But crikey, he was impressive the other day, and
I thought you were very good on him. Watching it live, and Charlie Deutsch has been very good in this. But at the line, the second and third, none of them were actually closing on you. So you maybe weren't as good as I first thought.
No, just don't look into it too much. Just say it was good. Yeah. No, it was. You can't. I suppose you can say I was good on it, but you can't get away from the fact he won by 20 lengths, whatever it was.
Yeah.
No, it was really impressive. It's funny. I watched all his races over fences, and I thought, he's got a bit to do actually. he came second his last run at Wincanton. And I thought, it looks like he may be a bit outpaced, but obviously he wasn't outpaced at all. And I was confident he would stay, so I was happy to let him stride on. So,
General December Gold Cup, always prominent throughout as well. Every year at Cheltenham, you'll see Cheltenham form holding up. He's in the plate of the race that Venetia's got an excellent record in, with some horses going into it at big prices, they think, that are more exposed than some.
Yes, yeah. Gemeron, he was brilliant in that Gold Cup, but the ground was on the better side. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was good to soft, and he definitely does seem to enjoy the better ground. Ideally, on better ground, you can just pop him out and go, whereas which I think that shows him at his best. And then obviously his last couple of runs, the ground's just been a bit soft for him. So we'll have to see what it's like on the day, really, to have him at to get his full advantage out over the others. I think the ground would need to be on the good side, but then we don't want it too quick for the other horses either. So
you can't have it always. The David Power Jockeys Cup finishes on the Friday night of the Impey Festival. So if Royal Pagaille wins the Randox Grand National, you don't get any points. But I think you'll get over that quite quick if Royal Pagaille could win the Grand National. How is he? Because he was obviously disappointing last time.
Yeah, I think I spoke to a lot of the jockeys that rode in that race, and they all said that it was quite quick that day. The ground was, I suppose, without being rude, a little bit rough because it had a lot of racing on, and there had been no rain. Actually, it was a bit quick for a few of the stayers, and he'd be in that category. So I think that I wouldn't worry about that run too much at all. And if they'd had a bit of rain for that race, then I think ground can make a huge difference, and it could have been, it can make, sounds ridiculous, but it could be 10, 20 lengths difference if it's proper soft, heavy ground.
Imagine if he come up with soft ground national, he'd be a great spin, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah, exactly. And he's shown his class, and so no, I'm not sure what everyone's thinking, but I suppose you'd want conditions to be right for him.
If it was a quickie,
because
they're not going to let it get quick nowadays. But absolutely.
Yeah, they go so fast as well. It almost feels when you're riding it almost feels like 2 miles speed, but you go 4 mile 2. But
it wants to be like a Red Marauder National for him.
Yeah, I suppose so. And I suppose he's pretty classy. So I just you wouldn't want to upset him too much, and you'd want to go for the Betfair again really next year. But so you'd want to make sure it's worth going for. Yeah.
Recently become a dad. Everything's going good. You just seem you're happy in your own skin, aren't you? You're just a good place.
Yeah, definitely. God, being a dad is that takes your mind off things, and it keeps you occupied. But no, really enjoying it, and it's good fun. It's really good fun.
Well, we're really enjoying watching you. You've been a credit to your profession. You've done so well. Stay healthy, stay safe. I wish you best of luck for the David Power Jockeys Cup, Cheltenham entry, and the rest of the season. And great to catch up.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Niall. Cheers.